First off, a bit of an adverb intro for the listening audience who may not be familiar with who the heck Adverb Technologies is. I'm one of them. Well, the company's been moving quickly. It's founded in 2016. Adverb did last year $27 million in revenue with one of the widest customer sets in the logistics industry. Adverb counts as a few of its over 100 customers, the likes of Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Amazon, Reliance, Flipkart, and Unilever. In 2021, Adverb opened its state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Bhat Valley. That's in Noida, a city just east of Delhi in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, which is also the home for a very well-equipped Adverb Technologies R&D facility. In September, Adverb CEO Sangeet Kumar said, "We're going to go international." And they started opening offices in Europe, Australia, Asia, and the American markets. Then, just to make things a little more interesting, in January of 2022, just back a couple of months, one of Adverb's top customers, Reliance Industries Limited, owned by billionaire Mukesh Ambani, reportedly the richest man in Asia, bought a 58% share of Adverb for $130 million. Adverb Technologies, welcome to America, North America, Central America, and South America. We're looking forward to this meetup here and also at Modex later on in March. And welcome to its new CEO of the Americas, Mark Messina.
This is Robotics is really overjoyed to have an old friend back on the program. And most of you know him. He's a very well-known roboticist in the United States, a manager of robotics companies. It's Mark Messina. He's sort of like the man with the golden touch in a way. He's been with Amazon Robotics, and then he was with Mattel, and then he was with Geek Plus, and all along the way, those organizations have really prospered. So maybe he's got some magic gold dust for Adverb Technologies, which is now in America, and he's the CEO, the newly minted CEO of Adverb Technologies Americas. That's North America, Central America, and South America. That's a lot of territory for one guy, but we know he can hold it down. It's sort of like first contact. That's how I'm feeling right now. It's like on that Star Trek thing where you get first contact. So here's first contact for Adverb Technologies coming to the United States in a hottest time for logistics. So it's really great. And thank you very much, Mark, for coming on the show. And we appreciate that you're taking the time to be with us.
Well, thanks, Tom, for that introduction. It was really kind of you, and I appreciate all your kind words. And it is a great industry to be in. I've enjoyed it for many years. It's been more than 10 years for me since I started with Kiva Amazon Robotics, and it's been a great journey. A lot of good people in this industry, and the industry, as you mentioned, is very hot right now.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mark. As you well know, as an industry veteran in robotics, logistics is white hot these days. In other words, a superb time for Adverb to make a landing in the Americas. So what's the advantage that Adverb brings with it? How will Adverb compete with so many other vendors out there? I guess, what's Adverb's differentiators?
Yeah, great question. Adverb is different in a lot of ways. And it starts with the fundamentals. The company was founded by industrial engineers who have worked in the material handling and movement and manufacturing space for their whole career. So they really understand at an organic level the problems that customers face. So they developed solutions, robotic solutions, a lot like several other companies have. They looked at what Amazon was doing and the successes in that space and the way that it was changing intralogistics. And they decided to start Adverb back in 2016 in Noida, India, which is near Delhi. Some of the things that really set us apart, aside from just that founding DNA, is also the fact that we do end-to-end solutions. So we're not just a robotics point solution provider. We provide the entire warehouse. So conveyors, racking, all the controls, the robots, the software, end-to-end. And that really shows up in the software, in how robust the software is, because we designed the software ourselves to run the whole warehouse. So therefore, even when we plug in as a point solution, the system is designed to plug into into the rest of the system. But where we excel is providing the whole system. So we can integrate everything. We have voice pick, we have put to light systems, we have the controllers, and we have the robots, where our competition really focuses primarily on a point solution robot. We have a much broader offering. So that does set us apart in the space.
It sounds like you're well armed to come and do battle for the warehouse space in America, the North America, South America, and Central America. So that's great. I'm really looking forward to see what is going to transpire. I've been, especially for Indian robotics, I'm a big backer of Indian robotics since the days I started following Gray Orange. But and I can see great stuff. Let me ask you this. You've probably seen the recent headline in the New York Times. And that headline says, warehouse space is the latest thing that's being hoarded. Logistics firms are finding new options to deal with scarcity of storage space, including building multi-story facilities and choosing locations farther from coastal ports. How does Addverb impact on what that New York Times headline is saying, talking about?
Well, it really speaks to what we've been facing for years in this space, intralogistics space, which is, the customer expectation is rapid delivery, whether it's half an hour, same day, or next day. It's not what it used to be. And that requires a lot of real estate to be much closer to urban centers and to the customer itself. There's a lot of competition in that space. I think the hottest commodity in logistics right now is real estate. And when you look at that market, real estate is becoming really expensive around the world. Cities around the world have this problem, but even rural areas are facing this now. So the response is to build vertically. So you see a lot of warehouse automation systems right now are not really designed for vertical integration. Addverb does happen to have systems that go up to 40 meters high, which is substantial. When you talk about this space, generally the code limitations are limiting you at 40 meters. So we address this very well.
Wow. 40 meters, that sounds like an Olympic dive competition. That is really up there. That's really amazing. The thing that I've been noticing, we're going to be doing a segment following yours called Where the Robots Roam, which is once these robots enter into U.S. space, where the heck did they go? We know it's Lehigh Valley, it's around Chicago and L.A. We've got some interviews going on to do that. But one of the shocking things that, one fellow told me is that of the warehouse space in the United States, only 4% is available. And it's going down. So as they're building them, they're being rented out and leased out. And we've talked to a few of these leasing companies, CBRE, et cetera, and it's really amazing. So I think you're really in a hot spot. But let me ask you this question because of your background. You've been everywhere. You've seen everything in the past 10 years from, the Amazon, the Mattel, the Geek Plus, and et cetera. You know the U.S. market so very well. As an industry veteran with over a decade, having influential stops like I just said, Mattel and Amazon and Geek Plus, et cetera. Could you share some of what you're feeling as far as the macro level changes that are going on in the U.S. right now in logistics? What do you see for the next 5 years? What stands out to you? What sort of jumps out from your veteran stance in logistics?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of consolidation. You'll see, a lot of M&A activity happening in the space. You'll see, obviously, a lot of new technology being developed. I think there's some really interesting plays coming out from other companies, I can say, but also Addverb has some new tricks up its sleeve, I think, that'll be out in the next year and a half. They're in development. Really, I think when I look at the space, though, the biggest thing that stands out to me is you've got a lot of industry standards out there, really large integrators who are looking at their operations and trying to understand how do they integrate these flexible systems. It's changing the business. It's changing how they do business. It's changing how they make money. And then you've got players that are disruptive. And I think Addverb is one of the most disruptive players out there in the fact that we are an integrator who also makes everything under one roof. And we have manufacturing for our robots and our racks under our own building roof in India. So we, not only do we design and develop the systems, we manufacture them, which gives us end-to-end ownership over everything. And we can be very quick in how we change and how we innovate. So when we look at the market as a point provider, I think we compete very well on our quality of our software and our quality of our systems. But when I look at Addverb as an integrator, I think here we are, we will be up and coming in the market, and we are very nimble. We're very quick. We have much more control over our pricing because we don't sub out very much of anything. And I think that when I look at the market, that's how we're disruptive. And I think that the market's going to be affected by that. I think Addverb is sitting on an incredible opportunity globally, not just in the Americas, but globally. We've just opened our offices in Netherlands as well. Singapore and Australia are doing very well. So I think that Addverb is in a very strong position to grow from how hot the market is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the expensive land that's in the EU, when you're talking about 40 meters straight up, that's pretty attractive. Especially if if you're brick and mortar and you've got some dark space in downtown, Rotterdam, and you're looking to do quicker deliveries. I mean, something like that is really attractive. So it looks. Yeah, go ahead.
I see this stuff in Asia a lot where, Asian cities are a little bit different than what we're used to in the States. They're very vertical, they're very dense, and there's generally a 7-Eleven on the four corners of one intersection. So, you've got a massive amount of people. They don't do a lot of shopping at home. They just grab their stuff. Now they've got companies like Grab that are doing rapid delivery. They're very effective. But this is going to lead to a rise in dark stores and true micro-fulfillment. Now, micro-fulfillment is a very tough nut to crack in terms of the economics, because you've got to, even if you have the small space with high automation, it's the constant replenishment that's challenging. But I think that the technologies that are being developed on the back end to support that are going to change that game quite a bit. And so I think that this will eventually be much more present in the States as it's figured out in the markets that are most challenging, but also that have the highest demand, which in my opinion is Asia. But these will have a beneficial effect on rapid delivery for the States.
Yeah, I was just reading a report that said there are 11,000 warehouses in the United States and DCs and et cetera. And then I read China's Blue Book. The Blue Book, the Chinese Blue Book says there are 2 million warehouses in China, which is, I mean, most of them are probably rat traps. You look at Prologis has done like studies in Asia, and there's a lot of work to be done in those warehouses, and they have massive populations. So I think if Addverb is in Asia, also going to do very, very well. So I'm really looking forward to following what y'all are going to be doing here in the United States, and and writing and talking about you and transferring that on to my readership, because I think they're going to be fascinated as well. Like, who the heck are these guys? That's Addverb with 2 D's? I thought Addverb was a word that modifies in ly other adverbs, nouns, and adjectives. Mm-hmm. And so they're in square one learning about Addverb, and that's a very exciting time for people like me in the news business. So,
yeah, a lot of people don't know about Addverb, so I'm really excited to explain to people who we are and what we do, and I really appreciate, Tom, that you took the time to meet today. I've always loved ARR and enjoy meeting with you, and look forward to meeting with you again.
Always great chatting with you. Bright man, wonderful media voice. I mean, when you're done with this and you're going to hang up your hat in robotics, you need your own radio show. Because perfect voice. And I'm looking at this nice, smiling, handsome picture. I said, the guy's got it all. It's unbelievable. So once again, thank you for appearing on This is Robotics Radio News. And I'm sure that our audience is going to enjoy what we just went through about Adverb. And I think they're going to be equally excited about Adverb as well. So I'm looking forward to big things. So thank you once again. I bid you a fond bye for today, but I know we're going to be bumping into each other somewhere very, very soon. So Mark Messina, the newly minted CEO, Adverb Americas. Thank you for coming on the show. You have a great day.
Thanks, Tom. You too.